Greetings, everyone. This is Tirra Lade, and I have a special edition here for you all today. Welcome, and welcome. How are you all doing? I'm so excited that today I will be having, for 2022, this is our second round. It's not our first time doing this, but I have my priestess sister, Jessica, coming on today. We have been designated as the Institute Astrologers. And so we like coming on together every now and again to talk about what is happening in these astrological streets out there, so that we keep you in the know and the flow. And when you get two astrologers together, oh my gosh, magic happens. So without further ado, I'm bringing up the beautiful, the glorious, the brilliant Jessica.
Ooh, my Leo loved it that way. Thank you.
Yes, I love these new features on StreamYard. So
Yeah.
welcome, sister. How are you?
Girl, I am blessed and
Okay.
rooted today.
I know.
No,
You know what? We just take what we can get, don't we?
right.
So, yeah, I'm excited that we're going to come on today and do our quarterly talk. It's for, we have been deemed Institute astrologers. We're both a part of the Institute for Whole Life Healing. And so that's how we have kind of joined forces. But this is for everybody who's a part of our communities. I'm a part of the Goddess Body Mind Spirit, or this is my brand, Goddess Body Mind Spirit. What is your community, Jessica? Tell us a little bit about yours.
Yeah, my business is called Starflower Services. I am a gardener and an astrologer, and I really just like to bring those two together with folks that resonate with both, like how we can work with cosmos and this planet
Ashe.
simultaneously.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And we are both priestesses of the Sacred Feminine Mysteries, which
Mm.
is a goddess tradition that is designed to help women connect with their divine feminine nature within and connect with the Great Mother Goddess to help bring this energy, this vibration, more prominently in our lives as well as in the world. And it's really interesting because beforehand, Jessica and I were talking about how feminine so much of the astrology is looking, just because of the signs that the astrology is happening in. So it's just so apropos that the two priestesses of the Sacred Feminine Mysteries are here to talk today.
Mm.
So just to be transparent, I have been a little bit in transition. And so I asked Jessica to take the lead on the topic. So we're going to both be contributing. But Jessica, where do you want to start today?
Well, we got a full moon,
Mm.
happening tomorrow morning. Full moon in Virgo. I'm a big old fan, kind of, grounding some of this big Piscean energy we have been working with and will continue to work with moving into the spring, which
Yeah.
starts on Sunday.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Spring equinox turn up, baby.
I love this full moon. Yeah, I know. People are ready. Well, we were saying this, like every time the sun moves into a sign, and that's the equinox, right? The equinoxes are when the sun moves into you know, a new
Mm-hmm.
cardinal sign, and the solstices as well. And every time the sun moves into any sign, I'm like, yes, I'm so into it. I'm fully down, And then it's like near the end, I'm like, we're good. Let's turn the clock. I need to get into Aries and dry off.
Oh my gosh. Thank
Even
you,
though we have
son.
a lot
Thank
of
you.
Pisces still, we need the
Yeah.
sun being in Aries, I think will, warm us up a little bit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Pisces has turned out for me to be a very interesting time. And it's not exactly what I thought it was gonna be, because it's my birthday sign.
Yeah.
But it's so much going on with these eclipses and Aquarius, the fixed signs, that I have a lot of fixed energy.
Mm.
And so it just has had me very Saturnian, like, or
Mm.
yeah, sort of Saturnian, a little somber, a
Mhm.
little bit like, let me just get real with myself. And,
Mhm.
I have not been under any illusions
Mhm.
for once in my life as a Pisces. Um, But I will say that this full moon in Virgo, and you and I talked about this, it does have the potential to snap everybody back to reality. What do you think?
Yeah, it's like, okay, good dreaming. Now what are we gonna how are we gonna what are we gonna fix? We've all kind of done our like big Piscean, like the feels, the melting, the overwhelm, the oh, woe is me, or the oh, this is so,
Yeah.
idealized. Virgo's kind of like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
let's fix this up, tuck your shirt in, like do your dishes, like make it like let's get a little grounded so that we have a space, for all this dream energy, which I think is actually really important to
Yeah.
cultivate moving forward,
Yeah.
because we're not leaving Pisces because it's such a Piscean year.
No,
But,
we're not leaving
we've
Pisces.
gotten initiated into it through the sun. Virgo's like, okay, dry up, sober up, you know. And I just want to comment on when you said it's been a really Saturnian time. I have too. I have gone through a lot of Saturn. I have really been tapping into my Saturnian energy, um, which isn't like the most fun sometimes, but it's what I love is it's like kind of creating that structure for the sacred feminine creative flow
Yeah.
to be safe in it.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of feel compelled to, like, if I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing the Saturn work of what I'm responsible for, taking ownership up, not lying to myself about, because Pisces can be like, you're fine, this box of cookies doesn't have any calories in it, or you know,
All the lies and the illusions.
uh-huh.
Pisces is like, you look good, girl. You can eat them cookies.
You're
Virgo
all
is like,
beautiful. What will it matter in 500 years? It's like,
what will it matter in 500 years
that is,
exactly? So yeah,
yeah.
I do the way I'm very clear that we are in like the third chapter of 2020. I mean,
Mm,
I really so want folks to just be able to move on from 2020, but baby,
mhm,
the truth is 2020 upended everything. I just like describing it as, imagine
mhm,
somebody just walked in and took the table and just flipped it over.
mhm,
And then 2021 is like, well, what are we going to do? What new direction? And I always
mhm,
call it pressure to change. And I mean, to be honest, we started this year out finishing up 2021. Like
mhm,
2021 energy has been all over 2022. And so
mm,
at the end of the day, it's important for us to realize that it's time for us to go in a new direction. It's been fun. Thank you, past life, whatever version that we had, it's been fun. But
mhm,
it's honestly time to go on ahead and take yourself in a whole new direction. And it's a mix. So, for me, and I feel several people have just sort of felt like we're just dealing with this new direction. We're dealing with the reality of our lives. But by the same token, what Pisces is offering us is, to a certain degree, what I always tell people is, come on, baby, it's time to liberate yourself.
mm,
Pisces, at the end of the day, it seems like spring kicks off with Pisces, but it does not. The
mm,
astrological year is ending. So it's like, what do you need to release and let go? And so this full moon in Virgo could potentially bring up that one thing that will
mm,
have a domino effect. And
mm,
and what once you knock that thing down, once you release whatever needs to be released, once you liberate yourself from whatever you need to be liberated from, then you for sure will be able to take this new beginnings energy and run with it and actually, make some progress. Go ahead,
mm.
sis.
I love this. I love all of this. Yeah, like the two. Well, first of all, like I wrote on my paper, change is happening. It's been happening. What's your role? Like, how are you going to do it? What are you going to, like, we already know it. And we're easing in. And now it's like, okay, yeah, big girl superwoman panties on,
Yeah.
But I love what you're saying about this full moon, because
Hmm.
I listen, my nodes are Pisces and Virgo. I'm a Virgo moon. I have Saturn in Virgo. Like, I love this
No wonder
energy.
we always kind of connect, because I have
Yeah.
similar placements.
Yeah, because I remember you,
Yes.
from my Pisces South node. But like, I love, yeah. I mean, it's such a beautiful and sometimes misunderstood by pop astrology relationship between Pisces and Virgo, because it's like Virgo gets so picked on as being, fix this, do this, straighten this, and it's like when we are really like doing the ritual and doing the practice, which is really what Virgo, like doing the rituals. And first they're like boring habits, and then they become more and more sacred because you embody the ritual, because you are a temple of God. Virgo is
Exactly.
literally like you are
Yes.
a embodied, living, earthly temple of the divine, which is
That is
Pisces,
true.
right? It's like
Yeah.
this, they work together in this
Yeah.
really sacred offering. That's why Virgo is the sign of the priestess. Girl, when
Mm-hmm.
I like got that, it was like, oh,
Mm.
okay. Now I know what to do, because Virgo like wants something to do, right? So like, okay, this is my job, this is how I will serve. But I love that. I love that for this full moon, because we've got this full moon, I think, sextiling Pluto. We've all
Mm-hmm.
been hammered by Pluto.
Mm,
Venus has been through
mm-mm.
Pluto.
Trying,
Mars has been
honey.
through Pluto.
Trying,
Pluto and the
Pluto.
whole Pluto with the Pluto, doing the
Mm,
Pluto. But I
mm.
like the
Love
sextile
it.
because it's easier, It's like, oh, well, what power have you been reclaiming? And also Capricorn, what boundaries have you had to set as a result of
Mm-hmm.
not having your power? I just feel this like helpful remembering,
Yeah.
where Pisces can be like, what am I doing? What does it matter? People are dying, which, it's a real easy place to go,
Oh my gosh. Yes.
it's so easy to just melt into that. And
Mm-hmm.
that Virgo's like, well, I'm going to sweep the floor, and then I'm going to make a prayer, and then I'm going to do the thing, and then I'm going to, oh, and then that is where change, really does happen, because you chop
Mm-hmm.
wood and carry water. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so I
Yep.
love all that. Yes, I do feel everything you're saying about this
Yeah.
full moon, and we have to fortify that remembrance of our sanctity, I
Mm-hmm.
think, moving through this year.
I agree.
Yeah.
And the last little thing that I'll say about this moon, that based on what you just said, is, and it's what you said, but I just want to say it too. Um, that there will be no dream birthed through you without action. There will be no
Mm.
dream birthed through you without to me, the most creative energy comes from having some routine set up so this creative energy can come through
Yes.
and be grabbed on, grasped, channeled, put into a container
Mm.
some kind of way. So we got Pisces
Mhm.
the dreamer, Pisces divine creativity and wisdom. And it's beautiful energy. But with all this big energy that we have in Pisces right now,
Mhm.
it could be so overflowing that
Mhm.
nobody grasps it. And all we doing is just sitting down here in our little Pisces fog talking
Yeah,
about stuff, but not getting anything done.
right.
And so I encourage everyone to get your spiritual practices, your routines. Like you
Yeah,
said, they might be boring, they may not be fun, but
right.
guess what? They will
And
be
cleaning your house is
beneficial.
a sacred ritual. I
This
mean,
is true.
mine gets messy, but there is something to it's really every action, every
Hmm.
service that you do,
Yeah.
being safe and just practicing,
Yeah.
right? Like, anyway.
And the last little thing too is that spiritual folk, sometimes we don't always, because of just so much capitalism, the destruction of capitalism of our society, and
Mm.
morals and different things like that. But make no mistake about it, before there was capitalism, there were earth signs. And we
Mm.
should be manifesting
Yeah,
something. Why are we
right.
doing all this spiritual work if we're not going to manifest?
Thank you.
And so this is a full moon in Virgo being supported by Pluto in Capricorn, Earth, Virgo, Earth. And then we even have the nodes of the moon being
Yeah.
activated by
And
this moon
Uranus. I mean, by
and
sun.
Taurus.
Yeah.
So cha-ching, get some stuff together. The other piece
Mhm.
might be, because it's Virgo, Jessica.
Mhm.
Maybe you need to get rid of some of this stuff. Maybe you need to get some of this stuff
Yeah.
organized so that
Yeah.
you can bring more of what you want into your life.
Yeah. Including clutter in your mind, because I feel like this is like, that's what meditate, please, team. Like, if you do any ritual during full moon, like do a meditation, walk outside. But that, because I feel like that Virgo Pisces energy, it really is like alchemy of miracles. I think you spoke to it. It really is like they come together. That is how miracles happen. But the lower form is like, martyr and victim, man. And like, what are they getting done? No offense to all of us, me included, who've worn that archetype. Like, shrug it off, spiritual bath, cleanse and purify. You know what I mean? Like, come on now. Come on now.
Practical and get real, Virgo, baby.
Brush your
Virgo
teeth.
is like, we're going to get it cleaned up in
Girl,
here.
wash your face.
Okay, so let's talk next about, do we want to talk about Neptune and Jupiter? Is that next, or what's next?
Yeah, I think the whole meeting of, we got that new moon in Aries on the 1st of April, and then Venus moves into Pisces, and then Jupiter and because then there's like more Pisces, right? So it's like fortifying the ritual before you go back into the ocean.
Girl. And
making
something
sure
that I noticed,
a solid boat before you take off with Yemoya,
girl,
or a snorkel. At least I keep using the snorkel metaphor with this energy. Like, just make sure you got scuba gear.
I want to bring this up because something that I noticed is how much of the energy is on one side of the chart. Can you see? Okay.
Yeah.
Just all the planets are over here. The moon is going to be moving on. So,
Yeah.
But for the most part, all the planets are on one side of the chart. And so I just feel like that is hyper focusing us at this point. And it's on the side of the chart that is about progress, endings, and then at some point it will shift into this new beginnings energy with the sun moving into Aries. So yeah, what else do you want to say about Venus eventually moving into Pisces with Jupiter and Neptune?
Man, I love it. I think it's so juicy. I mean, we talked about Venus being so important this year and the next few years, being involved in the nodes like Venus and Mars.
Yeah.
We talked about that in the last one, but I think we need to really get right with our Venus, and our Venus being our values, what we love, what we desire, what is, what we want to prioritize, what we want to manifest, what's beautiful to us, what we need resource wise to do the work we came to do in the world. Again, E is always like, you got to keep the lights on. If whatever, what she says, you got to keep the lights on if you want to do the work. And it is really hard to do this sacred spiritual work and feel like you can ask for the resources you need to do that. This is a plug for readings team. But like, that honoring what is necessary, like financially and resource wise, it doesn't just have to be money, but just those assets you require, right? To like do the work for anyone, because we're all doing spiritual work, right? We're all souls. So I think about Venus moving into Pisces, and Venus goes into Pisces like, girl, it's like exalted in Pisces. It's going to team up with its besties, Jupiter and Neptune also at home in Pisces. I mean, these three planets are like, welcome to my domicile. I mean, just really luscious and magical, and also like, do not give all your money away to whoever. Just like have the boundaries.
Girl.
Have the boundaries and the right, because it can be very not grounded. That's why I think this earthy moon is important. But on the other hand, dreaming so big. We talked about this, like dream crazy big. Like whatever miracle, why not?
Yeah.
I am healed. It is healed, done. What's that thing you've been carrying for lifetimes? Okay, bye. Who's that ghost, that ancestor that's hanging on and messing with you, or some, okay, move up, just this energy. I mean, I keep imagining, okay, weapons don't work now. Like, what if everybody was like, they don't work, try to pull the trigger, doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like I had a friend who was Pisces and Aries, who is an ancestor now, but I remember him saying that one time when I was little, when we raise our
Was he
consciousness,
Mars in Aries? What did he was what?
he was right on that cusp of Pisces
Okay.
Aries. So he's an
Gotcha.
Aries
Okay.
sun, but he was very Piscean.
Okay.
And he would be like, one day our consciousness is going to be so raised that like these weapons of mass destruction, they're not going to work. Now that
Mm.
sounds like delusional, and it could be, right? Because somebody
Mhm.
could just like hit that button and all these
Mhm.
people are annihilated, suffering. That's
Mhm.
Piscean energy. Or
Mhm.
miraculously, somehow, with our fortitude and belief and consciousness, we all want that so bad that either we physically make that happen, or maybe it doesn't. I don't know, but that's what I'm dreaming. I'm dreaming like crazy big about peace.
I love that. And
Yeah.
Pisces is a sign that is very compassionate and peaceful. And I had wondered how it was going to play out for the world. And here
Mhm.
we have war. So I'm like, okay. But I will say one thing is Jupiter is invisible right now. And
Mhm.
so with a planet being invisible, it means its energy is not accessible to the world. And
Mm.
Jupiter has to do with um uh justice and law. It's
Mm.
divine law. And it's even though it's in Pisces, it's invisible. So
Right.
it's not bringing its full energy. I think it goes visible. It'll be somewhere at the top of May. I mean,
Like in the night
April.
sky, right? Not just because it's next to the sun. In the night sky, you mean visible, correct? Yeah.
Well, yeah, both
Okay.
because
Yeah.
it's so close to the sun, it's not visible in the sky.
Okay. Yeah.
And so it becomes visible again once it's not so close to the sun. And
Mhm.
I don't remember the exact date, but it's in April sometime. Saturn has been invisible. It comes visible next week, the
Mm.
20 something, maybe the 20th. I can't remember.
Mm.
But when these planets are invisible, we don't have access to
Yeah.
their energy. And see, right now, Saturn in Aquarius is powerful because it's the
Mhm.
ancient ruler of Aquarius. I know a lot of people relate it to Uranus, but Saturn is the ancient ruler of Aquarius.
Yeah.
And so with it being there, um, once it comes back visible, then it can bring more of that Aquarian energy that
Ooh.
we need, for progress and justice and equity and, you know, rebelliousness for, the benefit of society. And then Jupiter, once it becomes visible again, I'm hoping that it will begin to bring this goodwill. The downside of Pisces is blind faith. And so, maybe it's
Right.
gonna overcome that or not. But these people, okay, a lot of people have blind faith and stuff, and you can't see it with Pisces. Like to me, Pisces has the propensity to lead you into a cult. And you want to check that. Are you
Oh,
a part of a
absolutely.
cult? But it
Mhm.
it can, especially when Venus moves in there. So we're gonna have Venus, which is the planet that is better than best, better than good in Pisces. We got
Mhm.
Jupiter, which rules it, Neptune, which rules Pisces.
Mhm.
So it really can bring miracles and goodwill. The one thing about Pisces that most people don't all the time understand is Pisces is the sign that is like, you know what? The divine's got it.
Mm.
I just
Surrender, right?
know
Hand it over to the
surrender.
angels. Take it.
I
Yep.
know that I know that I know that
Oh,
the
yeah.
universe has it. And so we just amplify it. When we release all of this, I gotta be right. This is something I want to encourage us to do.
Mm.
It's my way right now. My thing is, you know what? I'm just gonna let the universe has taken care of this earth for how many
Say it.
millennia?
Yep. Yep.
It's like I just got here like 52 years ago. So maybe what I need to do, and I think you said this earlier, is just know that I know that I know that the
Mm.
universe has it, and the universe will show me my part. That's the only thing that matters. What's
Right.
my part? And part of what is everyone's part right now is damn it, live your dream. What are you here for?
Mm.
What is your destiny? Do that and allow yourself during this time, which Venus is going to be in Pisces from April the 5th to May 2nd, excuse me, April 5th to
Mhm.
May 2nd. during that time, open yourself up for divine guidance, miracles
Yes.
regarding your destiny and your calling here in the world. And that's the best thing that we can do. You go ahead and take it away, Jessica.
No, I love, yes. And I feel like that goes back to this full moon of like, okay, really, honoring really with gratitude,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, how far we've come
Yeah.
since 2020, since, 98, since 65. You know
Mm.
what I mean? Looking, honoring how far we've come, right, in the fullness of this
Ashe.
moon. Look what we have done and accomplished, but also like, okay, what do we need to let
Mm-hmm.
go of to surrender to this? But I love that fortifying the just the embodiment practice, because this whole theme of this year too is about being in your body to help make the change, right back to that Taurus thing. And like,
Exactly.
so it's like, how are you going to be in your body to do your best and live your dream? Because you can't just live your dream on your bed eating Cheetos. Like, you can dream about it a little bit, but to live it, one, you got to believe you're worthy of it.
Mm.
You got to believe you're worthy of it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to
Mm-hmm.
believe in yourself, that you are here for some kind of divine reason.
Exactly.
Show up, do your best, be attuned so you can hear the messages
Mm.
from those unseen ancient forces that feed into that blind faith, right? Or speak in
Mm-hmm.
different languages. But you have to be fortified, because if we are not aligned, if we're distracted or too busy or stuck up on this old thing or judging somebody or worrying about what such and such is doing, or over here just judging the person about the masks and the politics and whatever, we aren't listening to what our job is.
Right.
And I mean, like, God will tell us if we need to say something to such and such, but just we don't need to,
Girl.
we need to listen. And that's why this speaks to, especially moving forward, we'll look at the, when we get a little Aries energy moving into this, making sure with all of this energy, we have, people who are in alignment with our values, our spiritual, you know, quest,
Yeah.
checking the oracle if that's the thing we do, double checking our ego or our thought, like having those affirming practices too, where it's, you get messages, well, make sure you have stuff. Just double check yourself. Sometimes
Yes.
it's coming from a shadow, but having those
I love
structures in
that.
place, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And checking on our people that are flailing, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Back to the Pisces thing, like, not everyone is going to be in a space to have that fortitude of spirit, to be like, we give this advice right now, but that's not where everybody's at.
Mm-hmm.
People are struggling with haunting and addiction and depression and mental health, which are all like, can be very strong Piscean, you know, um,
Mm-hmm.
influenced, even though this is very harmonic Piscean energy. Like, if people are really susceptible to that, we got to watch out for our folks who have, you know, mentioned harming themselves or another,
Yeah.
who tend to, harm themselves with, substance, etc. Like, check on, because we are all one.
Yeah.
I think we got to remember that Venus piece of like, we're brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm. One thing too, Pisces has to do with children. So I do
Mm,
encourage everyone to, um, well, take seriously when people are talking about the struggles that they're having mentally and emotionally. um, you know, take it seriously because Pisces, it will bring a fog over somebody's eye and they do something,
mm,
and then, also the drug addiction and everything. And the next thing you know, something has happened and it can't be
mm.
reversed.
Yeah.
So it is something to take seriously because, yeah, Jupiter and Neptune and Pisces, that is their sign, but
Hmm.
those are huge planets. And Pisces is overwhelming. It is like the ocean.
Right.
And so it is something that we need to be very concerned about when it comes to people and their mental health, or,
Mm,
being cautious with the drug addiction. And the other thing that came to my mind as you were speaking earlier is, you know, Venus is the same as Oshun, and
hmm,
it's one of the reasons why I'm like, yeah, I so can see Oshun by way of Venus being a part of Pisces, because it
mm,
does have to do with taking what's in the unseen, having access to the unseen and manifesting it.
Literally, yes.
But also, we know that Oshun has to do with illusions. And so, it's just my thing is just make sure that you connect yourself with the right illusion. We live in
Yeah.
an illusionary world.
Yeah.
And so maybe Pisces season can be a time that we take that time to channel, like what you were saying, more of what we want. If we're gonna have an illusion, at least make it one that you want, right?
Right. At least drink. Yeah. If it's like if it is crazy for me to think about weapons like melting out of nowhere, I mean, it won't hurt anybody. Like if you're gonna, I mean, I wouldn't dream that somebody,
But that's what you want,
Right.
right?
Right.
So that's important. And the last little bit that I'll say too is Pisces is the subconscious mind. And so I guess it's time for society's subconscious mind to be looked at and examined. And
Yes. Yes.
what are we seeing from the subconscious mind? We got folks. For some reason, these last few days, I've been on my channel telling people stop scrolling all the time. It is not good for us. We were not meant to be on here
No.
dazed out and scrolling. It used to be you're not
Right.
gonna get on drugs because
That's a
that's
substance.
taboo.
Yes.
But we got legal drugs right now. And I'm not even saying I don't do it. I'm just saying
Yeah.
I realize what it does to me. But
Mhm.
it's just this energy of checking out. I have a electronic desk. It's just this energy of checking out. It's
Mhm.
way too much. If you're
Right.
gonna check out, baby, go check out with the divine. Go check out and talk to your ancestors. Go
Yeah.
check out
Go
and
outside to nature and wonder and the transcendental. I mean, it's so sacred and magical, like, especially right now with the spring.
nothing
I mean,
like
it's so
nature.
wonderful. Yeah.
Yes. And
Yeah.
and it's all about though clearing our subconscious mind and making sure that whatever contribution you make to the collective subconscious mind
Mm.
is one that is beneficial. It is something that will bring the goodwill of
Yeah, it's
Pisces.
higher consciousness, yes.
Yeah.
So this makes me just touch back in with when we move into eclipses, you know, we're working with the Scorpio South Node. It's like
Yeah.
churning up that shadow stuff, that I mean,
Mm.
this and the collective, right?
Yep.
It's like our stuff and don't we also like project our subconscious onto our collective experience? I
Exactly.
mean, I find
Hmm.
that so fascinating, but the thing that was coming through while you were saying all this as far as like anchoring connection goes back to the Saturn being happy and or not happy. When is Saturn happy? But you know effective in Aquarius, and like this is a time where belonging and connection and being part of something greater and figuring out how you plug in with the group
Yeah.
and just really making sure we're not feeling like we have to go it alone. We don't have to take the ocean on by ourselves. We don't have to save the world by, first of all, it's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? I am not gonna
Hmm.
like stop tanks in Ukraine. I am not gonna stop massacres, in Africa and Kenya and South America. Like I can't do that. That's not a thing I can do. But I can continue to
Hmm.
build relationships and networks and just grow that, mycelia, the or
Yes.
root systems. And
Hmm.
who knows what miracles can happen with that web.
Agreed.
Yeah. Yay.
Love that. Mm. Again, the feminine energy running the show. Pisces and Scorpio.
Thank you. Yeah.
Taurus. It's our time.
Yeah. I agree. I agree.
Where are we going next, sister?
So I'm thinking there's a Mercury retrograde that is the same day as the day Jupiter goes into Aries. That's when Mercury goes, which feels like we will feel a shift right around Mother's Day, hopefully some like action. Hopefully we've dream. I don't know. We've connected, we've felt, we've processed, we've let go, we've loved,
Hmm.
we've lost, so dramatic, right? Some of the Pisces stuff. But then,
It's Pisces though.
I
We
love
keep it
it. Listen,
100.
I lived there, South Node. Like, I remember it.
I love it.
the but the Jupiter moving into Aries, and I don't remember. No, Mars doesn't move into Aries for a little while, but like I was thinking about this. Oh, right. That's why. Because, okay, I don't want to get too confusing here, but we're looking at, um, let me just try to say this in a not confusing way and you call me out if it's weird. Okay.
Okay.
We have, in April, we're going to have Mars move into Pisces, right? Like middle of April. That's going to be a different energy. That's going to be like, I got stuff to do. Oh no, I'm underwater. Like you're trying to work out underwater and like,
Yeah.
So remembering that again, spiritual motivation, check in your motivations, check in what your action is about. Do we need to clear it up a little bit before we take action? But here, I like this because Mars will be in Pisces. And then Jupiter is going to move into Aries, 3 weeks later. So that's like what's called mutual reception, where they're in each other's signs and they're kind of figuring each other out. So our hopes and actions, laws, like you said, might be talking to each other before they then like come together and hopefully, spiritually motivated, positive action will be taken. That is like the dream. We're also looking at big archetypal power structures that aren't making good choices lately. So I get concerned about, but all we can do is our own little bit. So anyway, Jupiter will move into Aries after having been in Pisces multiple times. It'll go back into Pisces for a little bit later in the year, but Jupiter is moving into Aries then. Do have concerns about violence and war, because Aries is the warrior. So we have to really be in awareness of our warrior energy, of our Mars energy. That's the same day that Mercury goes retrograde. So, I mean, it's just like in Gemini, it's like.
Oh, I was about to say where? In Gemini?
Yeah. Wires crossed. Wait, what'd you say? I don't know. I'm going to do this. So let's just hope. Let's just listen. Work on our different ways of listening. I guess that's sort of what I was thinking about. Because Mercury, I don't even talk about Mercury in retrograde that much because at this point, it's like the main message I have for Mercury retrograde is listen differently, slow down, look at all the different ways you can take in information. It's going to go from Gemini back into Taurus. It's probably going to say, go back and listen to listen to the earth, listen to what your values are, listen to what you love. Are you getting distracted by all of these other things? Like go back and check back in with the core values. But that's kind of what I'm sensing.
The other thing too is when we have a lot of mutable energy, and to me, as long as, well, you said Jupiter will be out of Pisces at that time. So no, that I was about to say with Jupiter and Pisces, I think Mercury will be in Gemini for a little while Jupiter is still in Pisces.
Yeah.
And that just leads to anytime we have a lot of energy, like for instance, this moon and Virgo with all those planets over there in Pisces, it brings up scammy energy.
Right.
Or Mercury being, I was going to say Mercury being in Gemini for a little while, won't be long, will bring up, lies and people just not telling the truth. So,
right. But at least they're both like Mercury likes to be in Gemini and Jupiter likes to be in Pisces. So let's hope,
Well, they're square. That's why I was thinking, I'm not sure.
Right. Yeah, they're squaring even though, we'll see.
Yeah.
All we can do is our best in integrity and where we're lying to ourselves.
Yeah.
I feel like, I've lied to myself about plenty of stuff.
Yeah, that's the most important one.
Yes.
What am I lying to myself about? In terms of Aries, one thing I thought about as you were speaking is Jupiter in Aries could. First of all, I love Jupiter in Aries. I'm so freaking excited. I don't know what to do. Because I do have quite a bit of watery energy. And so anytime something happens in Aries, for sure, but all the fire signs, I just get ignited. It helps me so
dry
much.
it off. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm excited about Jupiter being in Aries because it is this energy where we can get some things done. Aries is like new beginnings. Let's get it done. We're getting ready to pop this thing off. It's an energy. Aries is an energy of action. Like that's one of its key words. And then we have Jupiter bringing its big butt in there, and it's just gonna like make that energy big, even
Yeah.
bigger. So like what you're saying, the question is, how are you, each person, going to channel this Aries energy? Because though, it could raise up violence, another way we could look at it is it could raise up people saying, like the
Sacred
warrior for
action.
justice,
Yes. That's
and
what I'm open. I'm open Jupiter's like getting
yeah,
consecrated. And it's gonna have to go back and check in with Pisces again, when it retrogrades, and Mars will too. But
yeah,
like I'm hoping, yeah, there's that fortitude of like, no, we're not putting up with this. Like, what are we gonna do now? How are we gonna move
yeah.
forward?
Well, the fact that now that you I really think about it, once Mars gets in there, Jupiter's going to have 14 days without Mars
Yeah.
in Aries. Oh, Venus will be there also. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe she'll help kind of like, because part of me is like, once Mars moves in there, Jupiter is just like, what you want me to do, Mars?
Yeah.
So are we going to have people who are fighting for justice, or are we going to have people who are just like, you know what? I'm done. I'm just getting ready to fight. I just say let's
Right, and that's why we gotta clear the baggage, the collective unconscious, and this whole, like, Scorpio pipe, like, clearing out all the ghosts, the hangers-on, the dark deceased, whatever, judgments, resentment, like, clearing that so that we do that, because Aries is like, "Go." Aries has no prefrontal cortex. Aries is like, "Now. I'm doing that. I wanna get it on with that. I want to eat that. I want to deal with, you know what I mean? Like Aries is just so, which is amazing when it's in alignment. It's like this really healthy selfishness. But
yeah.
let's hope that by the masses, it's being channeled, in a way that's in alignment for our highest good. What I'm really hearing right now, in my spirit, like really strong, and that I want to say is that, especially with this whole like Pluto return of the US, which we've talked about before. And I mean, to the day, man, like we saw that stuff going down in Europe, like pretty as the Pluto return, the
I
first
was
pass.
weirded out.
Right. And so for the second pass, I'm just going to say we're going to have Mars and Jupiter kind of squaring that Pluto. That is not
What's the
friendly.
degree of US Pluto?
27.
20. Oh,
So not
dang.
Jupiter won't, but by sign it will be squaring, but Mars will be squaring pretty close in July. So I mean, I'm careful, but what I keep hearing
Mm-hmm.
is this. Our whole country, like we created on this whole like freedom and justice for all, even though we know a lot of it was like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But there was this concept, right, that we supposedly,
Mm-hmm.
right, that there is power in democracy and the
Mm-hmm.
collective, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody has a voice, even though we haven't done that. And that's why I think Pluto return is like, um, excuse
It's a
me, everybody
mess
has to get
here.
a voice.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we need to make sure everybody has a voice. But I just keep thinking, we got like what, 10 billionaires in charge of everything. I mean, let's just be honest. And I think a lot of times, especially during like Piscean energy, there is just this overwhelming depression of like, there is nothing I can do about the
Hopelessness.
climate, about wars, about racism, about sexual violence, about like poverty. Like, I can't do anything, right? This overwhelming.
Yep.
And then I just have this, because this has been coming through while we're talking. They're like, the mother's like, baby girl, remember to say this. Remember, Pluto being like, oh, that's an illusion of power.
Mm-hmm.
That these few people have it because they have this money symbol.
Mm-hmm.
We've got like billions of people on this planet that are all temples of God. If we, even a chunk of us, realized, Virgo, Pisces, full moon, that we are living instrument of divine service,
Right.
who's in power now? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like we're afraid because of these metaphorical and real physical, violent and oppressive tactics that have been used by the human race over time. I
Yeah.
mean, I would love to see our Mars as a collective of a majority being like, wait, what, waking up from the, Pisces slumber and being like, uh-uh, uh-uh.
This is
Then
why
one billionaire helping to fund something.
this is why in my Piscean way, and
Mhm.
maybe some of this is related to my age as I get older, I just feel like the divine has it. The
Yeah.
only thing that matters is that I do. Because if I could wave my magic wand, I would make things better. today.
Right.
I would not wait, but there's a reason things are the way that they are.
Absolutely.
And so, I have to trust the infinite wisdom of the universe. I have to also understand that in this finite body, I don't know everything. I do, but I don't. I don't
Right.
have access to the
No way.
consciousness of it. Can't fathom it with the
Right.
human mind. And so, the best that we can do is to figure out how to channel this energy and yeah, and just that's the best we can do, because the hopelessness is not going to get us anywhere. Feeling like
Right.
you don't make a difference, that's a lie from the pit, and ain't no truth in it.
Mm-mm.
We are all a part of the great divine consciousness. And one thing
Yes.
that we talk about in the NLP community is projection is perception. And so whatever you're seeing in the world, what you don't like, it's like really and truly, you want to ask yourself, what is your part of this? What
Mm-hmm.
what have you contributed to it?
Mm-hmm.
And then make a choice to contribute something different. And
Yeah.
one thing I love about Virgo, we in Virgo energy today, y'all. We just really kind of coming like, we're gonna tell y'all what y'all need to know and what y'all
Yeah.
need to do. That's
This is
me
how you're
right
gonna
now.
serve the earth. Okay.
Yeah.
How you're gonna serve
And
somebody.
and so that's what I was about to say. Like, freaking, if you don't, when you busy living your destiny, you don't get upset, because you know what you're doing is making a difference, even if it's just to one person. Projection is perception. If we're looking at the
Yeah.
world and we're thinking this is a hell in a handbasket, then that's what you get in your reality. This is
Okay.
your
Thank you.
contribution to the collective. If you
Right.
decide, you know what, I cold trust the universe. They created not only me, not only my community that I can see, the
Mm,
whole earth. It created the sky. It created the galaxies. It
mm,
created time. So much
mm,
so that I can go find myself in other time lifetimes. You mean to
mm-hmm.
tell me that energy doesn't know how to handle 10 billionaires in charge of the US, Putin over there with Ukraine and Zelensky and all the violence that happens in black communities and brown communities and with
Mm,
against women and LGBTQIA, all that. You
mm-hmm.
mean to tell me the infinite cannot handle all of that? I would say that's not true. And so the best thing that we can do is to be of service, which, cool, believe that's what we're taught at the Institute for Whole Life Healing. Go
Mm-hmm.
ahead, Jessica, take it away.
Yeah. I mean, every time we remember, oh, wait, I am a divine child of the universe, much like all these great teachers done told us, literally, the kingdom of God is at hand.
Yep.
Spread the good news.
Mhm.
Basically, realize you're a temple of God, act as if so, and spread the word, not by like, do you believe that you're gonna go to heaven when you die? I don't mean to be weird, but no, but like, hi, I'm divine. Look at the miracle of life. Check out this flower blowing my mind. We're all sacred. you know, you know what that does though? That like fortifies the web of consciousness.
Yes.
Just
Yeah.
knowing and being and literally like believing in your again, believing in your right to be here, not underestimating the sacred gift that each one of us is
Yeah.
to this blip in time. And
Yeah.
that is, I feel like, what the mushrooms
Blip.
teach, like that is what, not the
Mm.
mushroom, but I mean like the mycelium, right? Because underneath all of what we see is just this network of,
Yeah.
you know, root systems and mycelium and just all of these
That is so
interactions. It's like
good.
we can do that with our souls and spirits by just remembering,
Yeah.
our sacred purpose. But we have been asleep,
Mm.
or we have been haunted,
Mm.
by the stories and the challenges and the traumas and all that stuff. And listen, it's hard, but
Mm.
this is such a year, I feel like, to liberate our physical vessels, our
Okay.
vehicles, from that as much as we can, and
Mhm.
just keep on. There's a lot of support,
Yeah.
and a lot of checking you, because I feel like do you not feel like whenever you're like, man, I am a sacred instrument, I am a priestess, I'm about to do this, I'm gonna let me tap in, let me, I'm connected, blah, blah, blah. And then immediately spirit's like, are you sure?
You see something in your
Okay,
email, you see some news story,
yes,
and you're like,
one person did something else.
Spirit is like
Yeah,
this. Okay. Is that
You
right?
sure
You
you do.
all you all blissed out, baby. But then one little thing, Baba G used to say that. One little thing come and throw you off, and the truth
Yeah.
is revealed. And it's
He
no
would call it
judgment.
out so hard too. He would get all like,
Uh-huh. We like, dang, Baba's on our
"What
toes.
the-"
But and it's no judgment. It's
It's
just
practice. That's the ritual of life.
Asheo,
That's the practice.
practice. Yes.
Mhm.
Where we
We
going
just
next,
have to
Mama?
practice being temples of God. We get better at it. Yeah.
Yes.
So, what do you reckon? I mean, I'm really interested in this yummy lineup we talked about, but you're an eclipse. Do you want to speak to eclipses at all?
Do we
Sorry to
want to
like
finish?
take the lead and change the subject.
No, I mentioned in the beginning, you looked at way more than I did before we got on. So it's all good. That's why I'm like, what you want to do next?
I've been nerding out about these transits. I was really looking forward to April. I just thought it was a really
Why?
magical. I mean, there's some really
Why is
interesting
April
transits.
magical?
Well, I just love that Jupiter, Neptune, Venus conjunction. It just feels really juicy.
Yeah.
We've
What
had
does
that
juicy
Mars
mean?
Venus
What does that
conjunction.
mean?
Juicy is in like I mean, I just feel like miracles can happen, transcendence. I'm going to see a
Mm.
lot of music, at that time because it really that
Oh
reverie,
yeah.
that
Yeah.
heart, that sacred sound. I'm just really trying to put myself in atmospheres of reverence and devotion in the work that I do to practice being a
Yeah.
spiritual vehicle, you know.
Yes.
Um, so I was really feeling that with April because I knew there was turbulent energy throughout the year. I loved looking at April, especially leading up into the eclipses that I feel like are you know, just what we said, spirit being like, wait, are you sure you're a divine temple of God? What if we break your car? What if we like make this, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, here are the
Mm-hmm.
challenge, here's the practice. It's game time. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, I
Pisces
like
is
it.
transcendence, and so that's it's speaking to how transcendent are you.
Mm,
Are you just like on the very outside of your skin, like right
mm,
at the, like micro millimeters or
mm,
whatever,
mm,
or is your transcendence out to here? Is it out to here? It's just information. And
mm,
the surrender piece, that's what a lot of this is about, because we are control freaks, and
mm.
rightly so. It's
Right.
been challenging being alive for a
Yeah.
lot of people,
Yeah.
and so you learn to start taking control, but this is an opportunity to relinquish some of that control and watch magic and miracles happen.
Yeah. It's like
Let
having
me
healthy boundaries, having a healthy sense of self and purpose and mission and boundaries so that you don't have to control. Like those are two, right? You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
having that fortified. What were you
Something I want
saying?
to say is the degree. Do you have the 24th degree? Is where Venus, Neptune, and Jupiter are meeting. 24th
What's it
degree.
like 24? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the 24th degree, when we're talking degree, like if we're using a degree theory, 24 is going to be so this meeting has Pisces energy on it. It also has Scorpionic
Uh-huh.
energy on it. And
Uh-huh.
then let me see here. Scorpio, what comes after? No, if it's the 24th degree, yeah. What comes after Scorpio? Sag, and it has Sag energy. That's
Okay.
interesting. That's real interesting. Because the way I see this is, you talked about the Pisces and the Scorpio is about purging, releasing, letting things go, getting healed up, and then with the Sag energy being mixed in that, it is about, Scorpio is about birthing, like dying and then being rebirthed anew
Mm-hmm.
in Scorpio, where you have that vision.
Mm.
So I want a lot of y'all to know that once we have this conjunction, which happens, it's right at the end of April. Oh, it's going to be real close to the eclipse too. All right, turn up Scorpio, April 28th. Um, then uh right around that time, maybe a week before and a week after. I just want to encourage you all to know that you may see the vision, even though you may not be able to like get it all done at that point. But this meeting has the potential, if you're willing to release and let some stuff go, to liberate yourself, to trust the universe, it does have the potential to give you a vision for your life and where you're
Mm,
headed that will blow your mind. So I want you to be open to that and
I
make sure you're
agree.
writing some things down. Yeah. That's what it comes from, that
And just
24th
believe
degree.
in yourself. Like,
Mm,
that's the biggest piece, because so
mm,
many times we don't
Ashe.
access our Jupiter, we don't access our
Mhm.
hope because we don't believe in ourselves. We
Yeah, that's
underestimate
good.
ourselves. Sometimes we, like, definitely overestimate, but you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Hmm.
this is a time where we're, like, offering permission to really
Yeah.
cannot, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so you wanted to continue to talk about another lineup, or do we want to go on, since you mentioned the eclipses? Let's just go on ahead and talk about
yeah,
that. How
pop
about
into the eclipses, and I wanna definitely, before we end, just talk about that really fun, right through the solstice, lineup of planets we were looking at, happy home planets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me pull up one of the eclipses. This is the eclipse in Taurus happening on April the 30th. So we'll start feeling eclipse
Mhm.
energy at the top of at the I always say, once April hits, we are, if since that eclipse is April the 30th, with the eclipse portal is open. And eclipses are a
Mhm.
portal anyway. But baby, anytime we have Scorpio involved in this, and the reason Scorpio is
Mhm.
involved in it is because Taurus and Scorpio are connected. And if something's happening in Taurus, it's affecting Scorpio. The nodes of the moon
Mm.
are in Taurus and Scorpio, and that's what creates the eclipses. And so once we have the eclipse, or once we get into April, oh, what I was saying is Scorpio is a portal, also an initiatory portal. So a lot of people may be feeling like they're being initiated also
Mm.
this year. I feel a spiritual initiation that is
Yeah.
happening for me, really just a life initiation, because so much about my life has changed since 2020 and since 2021. Both of us,
Mhm.
our children have left. We're empty nesters now. That is
Mm.
a mind shift. And,
Mhm.
I was a homeschooler. So it's like I'm like completely changing my career. Um,
Mhm.
so I do feel it is a time where people will begin to feel like there's an initiation. Literally, you may feel death is knocking at your door. But the one in Taurus is a time, if you want up level, if you really want to up level, Scorpio will help you to release anything that is just weighted energy. It's baggage. It should not go with you. It's making the load, it's making you slow down. This is what Scorpio is
Mm.
allowing. So when we get to the eclipse in Taurus on April the 30th, and you can just start a month before, go a month after, even, this eclipse energy is strong.
Mhm.
It lasts for 6 months. But um I encourage everyone to swing their lives wildly in the direction, take a big leap, a big move, especially people who need to become more resourceful or need to do
Mhm.
something about their self-worth, their self-value,
Mhm.
their their money,
Their
or
assets, yeah,
yeah,
their
their
fine,
stuff.
yeah.
And so that is a very important eclipse for wildly swinging your life in a new direction in a way that like it will work. It will work because we have Uranus. Where's Uranus around that time? It's not exactly in it, is it? Yeah, it is. Uranus
Like,
is
it
in
can,
that.
so th yeah, this eclipse,
Oh my God.
has got the ruler of the North Node, Venus, conjunct Jupiter and Neptune, right? I mean, there could be big
Wow.
money energy,
I didn't
and then the
even think about
South
that.
Node, the ruler of the South Node, Mars and Venus, is actually making a sextile, so like
Mm,
a harmonic aspect with it.
mm-hmm.
Uranus is there. Honestly, I think, if I can just throw this out there, when you say a big move, I mean, for some of us, myself included, we have a lot of, like, poverty consciousness and trauma around money. I mean, the system is not set up for, like, people to feel valued and have the resources. That is not the way this system is created. So it is truly a life shift,
Mm-hmm.
truly a shift in consciousness to actually manage your resources responsibly, especially if we have trauma around it. We have poverty in our ancestry.
Mhm.
We have
Yep.
poverty in our life. We have, been in these situations
So
where we have
good.
felt unsafe and insecure physically. That can
Yeah.
translate to a financial piece. I mean, and you never know what's going to happen in eclipses, right? They're so like, it could be, I mean, I got a huge raise one eclipse. It was the same eclipse. Baba went to the hospital,
Yeah.
like it's just those, you never know. And I've had other ones that were like, I mean, it just, you really don't know. You just got to be open and ready and back to that, surrender place. But with Taurus, I think those, like you said, radical shifts, but to stabilize, to honor your security and like what you
Mhm.
need. What do you need
Yeah.
to do, what you came to do? Um,
It's such a foundational sign.
yeah,
Taurus it is so much. I learned in one of my classes that Aries is the body. Taurus is what supports the body, the food
yeah,
and the resources, the energy that helps to support the body. And so
yes,
it's a get back to the
yeah,
foundation, get back
sustain.
down to the roots of things.
Yeah,
Um, I'll say roots because Scorpio's across there, but it's really like a very foundational. You can set a whole new foundation for yourself, especially when it comes to material possessions, material matters. Very important sign for that.
yeah.
And there was something else that you said, but go ahead.
But we have to make sure that we have properly composted and buried our dead. I mean,
I'll show
I
y'all.
keep thinking that all year with like the Scorpio, whether the dead is like trauma or fear or lack
Yeah.
or whatever that can even control, like where we have felt, like we have to do Scorpio work,
Hmm.
to be able to be present in those.
Yep.
And I'm just seeing what I'm seeing with Scorpio and Taurus is like, if Taurus is the plants and the trees and the fertility, Scorpio is what had to die and compost to feed it. And so you have to be
Exactly.
willing to like let die what is meant to die and integrate it. And just, I'll throw this back here. All we said for this
Mm.
coming year, like the process of, and I keep hearing this, and girl, E has already been like, well, I think we need to have a ceremony. I'm like, great. Because I was like, we have to have the courage to be in our bodies. Like somebody repeated that to me the other day. And then, of course, E is like, I think we need to do this. And I'm like, I didn't want to have that kind of courage. Anyway, sorry, if you're on the Institute, you might have heard that. I was just like, uh-oh.
I love it.
But being able to do the work to integrate what scares
Hmm.
us, what we're afraid of, what that
Hmm.
thing was, to
Hmm.
fully be in our cosmic vehicles. That was maybe weird to whoever was listening that doesn't know EO or whatever, but like, basically put your money where your mouth is. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like walk your talk. Like I'm over here, like we need to do the integration work of really, bringing all our soul fragments and parts together to be here
Yeah.
in this present, you know, Taurus, secure, embodied self. And that means we have to address those things we've bypassed or, hidden from
Mm.
ourselves. And that's the
Hidden
Scorpio,
in
right? The
Pisces,
courage,
baby.
the abundance. Yeah. So,
And see, Scorpio is like
channeling
this.
that. Yeah.
Scorpio is, I'll pull up this chart. Scorpio is like this. I'm not like Pisces. Okay. For anyone out there who thinks I'm about to hide it and put it
Don't be
deep
fooled.
down at the bottom of the ocean and, you know, you
Mm.
can't even see it. Scorpio is like, honey, because I'm ruled by Mars. All right.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to jump deep, deep
Uh-huh.
down into the ocean. It
Shamanic
could be
surgery.
a swamp. It could be whatever. I will jump
Mm-hmm.
down. I will go down to the bottom and
Mm-hmm.
see what's there. We gonna face this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We gonna face this.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's all about getting it healed up so that we can. That's what I love about the eclipses. The eclipses keep us from being stuck. And so
Yeah. Yeah.
what I
But
want
tell
to
your
offer.
fixed signs, Leo, Scorpio, be aware. Sorry to interrupt. Matrix.
Yeah,
There.
you're fine. No, you started your internet, or maybe it's my internet. I don't know, but you broke
Oh
up a little bit.
no.
I think I hear you
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, just the fixed signs being,
Oh,
really being present with that. That's all. But go ahead.
yes. So what I want to relate Scorpio or these eclipses and what you're talking about this compost to is an Odu called
Mm,
O'Shea. It's one of the Odu that came out for the Goddess Body Mind Spirit community. And what O'Shea says is you want to take what has happened, like you said, the compost, spiritual compost, and turn the
mm,
wound into a lesson. This is what you want to do
mm.
because both of these signs have to do with resources. So you want to take the wound and turn it
Yeah,
into a resource that helps you
yeah.
to be healthy, to have access to all of the bounty in the world that you want. And because that's what Taurus is. O'Shea is saying, take the lessons, take the wounds. What is the learning? And that is now your resource. And then you get to manifest more through
Mm-hmm.
Taurus. So
Yeah,
you're still a little bit
yeah.
frozen, I think.
I know.
She's frozen, y'all. Hold on. Let me wait and see if she starts moving again. When you start moving again, Jessica, I'll bring you back on. So I'll wait because I might lose her because she's been frozen for so long. Yeah, she's gonna come back. So the other thing that I'll talk about or start talking about until Jessica comes back in is that we have the eclipse, another eclipse happening on May 16th in Scorpio. And if you are Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, or Aquarius, these eclipses are important for you. If you have any planets in those signs, especially um, the sun, the moon, ascendant sign, midheaven. Oh, let's see here. What else? Even Mercury, Venus, Mars, Saturn, and Jupiter. These will be pivotal eclipses for you. I think they're going to be pivotal for everyone just because they're so powerful. And Venus is such an important planet. Venus is the same energy as Oshun or as Ali, had Haru. And she's just really setting the tone. And one thing that I know we can focus on is maybe looking at what do you really value, like getting your values in check and making sure that your values line up with who you say you are. Maybe you need to flip it. Maybe you need to take on the identity of your true values, or maybe you need to um, see that your values don't actually line up with who you say you are. Very, very important for everybody. Let me see here. What else do we have about these eclipses? This one is a little bit more active in terms of we've been talking about the get real energy of Saturn that has started out this year. This will be an eclipse where it's like get real about the progress that you're making, the direction that you're going in. If you feel like um, you, it is Saturn has the potential to say with this eclipse, I'm going to show you where you need to take more action. I'm going to show you where, maybe you've been taking too much time to get this done, or you just really haven't made much progress. That's what this can be about for a lot of people. I will say it does have some really good energy with this Mars at 23 degrees, Neptune at 24 degrees. So what I'll say about that is it has some great energy of where you will be able to take some supported action. Maybe once that eclipse hits, anyone who hasn't been doing their spiritual work, hasn't been feeling like um maybe doing the Pisces escape thing, it's something will happen and it'll make the healing easier. It also may be an eclipse that starts kicking off your ability to manifest because you're willing to release and let something go, or maybe something just sort of like divine will show up for you. So yeah, it's a lot of energy this year that is about, and let me see if she texted me. She may have texted me. Oh, she just texted me. A lot of energy that's about, you can log back in. You can log back in. If she has internet. It has beautiful, beautiful energy that is largely this year about going deep within and connecting with the divine, getting yourself all healed up, releasing, letting go of that which is no longer serving you, and at the same time taking some action that will either help you align with your destiny or action that will help you to manifest something. I'm not sure if she's going to come back, but I do want to mention something that Jessica mentioned that I thought was ingenious. And that's that I want to say in May, we're going to have several planets that are at home, and they're all sort of like in how do I say it? They're all in their domicile position. It has to happen later than May. Let me see something. Venus. Oh, she's back. Good, because then let me bring her back.
Phone.
Here you are. Okay, you're on your phone. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yesterday, last night, I was working with somebody on a coaching call, and my internet just cold went out. I was like, whoa. So I get that. So I really had started talking about these domicile planets. You want to go for it?
Yeah, I mean, because just leaving it at eclipses, you don't know what to expect,
It's a true
Just do
story.
the work, show up in your body. And then the last thing I think that I'm kind of really excited about, and this takes us into the bridge into the next season, into summer, is this really neat lineup of planets where we have, is it 5 or
One,
almost 6, but
2,
5
3,
planets
4,
in
5. Yeah, 5.
5 planets in domicile, which means 5 planets in their favorite sign, basically, or one of their favorite sign, with their home. You would say they're at home,
Yep.
or they rule it. And so we've had Saturn in Aquarius,
Yep.
for the last year and a half. We talked about that. We've had Neptune in Pisces. Jupiter will have just left.
Yeah.
Neptune in Pisces. We have, who's next? Mars will be in Aries. Yeah, loves it in Aries. We have Venus in Taurus, ruler of Taurus, and then we have Mercury in Gemini after that, retrograde and eclipses. And I just feel like this is like straightening things out a little bit. At this point, we have all of these, what I like to call gods, Orisha, archetypal forces, sacred wisdom, whatever these planets are, however they teach us, they are all kind of able to function in their, in their ideal way. And if we have that many of them at the same, I was hoping we could get a moon in Cancer during this transit, but we don't. It won't be because it's so short. I was like, man, that would be cool.
But you know what? If the moon goes, will the moon be in Taurus by that time? Still during this time, because it's exalted in Taurus.
Because it starts in Capricorn, and then I was going for it. Yeah.
Okay.
We would have been so close.
Oh yeah, because the sun is about to leave right at the end of June, or not at the end of June, at the end of Gemini season. So okay.
So that's June 14th through the 23rd. I mean, and that is, 9 days of really, if you have been interested in astrology, if you want to learn about these archetypes, it would be a really cool time to take note and be aware of how they're all functioning. And I love this right at the summer solstice, the summer solstice, we're going to have 5 planets, at home. I mean, these rituals are going to be powerful. So anyway, I'm sure we'll do a reading during that lineup. For
maybe Gemini, right at the beginning of Gemini, we'll have to come together. Okay.
How to prepare. So I really dig that. And I hope that we use it. We use it well.
Yes, use it well. I love so far 2022, yeah, it's been challenging, but it has not been 2020 and 2021 in terms of like such harsh energy. I am so grateful that it's like, man, I can at least I don't know, I can at least give it a good old college try. I feel like it feels like I have more choice. Do you feel that way this year?
Yeah.
And we always have choice, don't get me wrong, but it's
Well,
more
yeah, no, I
aligned choice or
do. And I don't
easy
say
to
that,
make the
and I say
choice.
that from a place of privilege in the United States. Like I respect that I am extra blessed
Yes.
to be here at this time in this moment. But personally asking me that question, yeah, I feel like I've done a lot of work to be here too. And I also, one little, and I know we've been going a long time here, but
Okay.
before we came into these eclipses, we were in those Gemini Sagittarius eclipses. And I think we had to really have a crisis of faith. We had to really like think about what we believe and who we listen to and what information we take in. And like, we didn't just blindly believe, whatever was on social media or on, the news or whatever. And I know plenty of us have questioned, but we really had to question how we take in information and how that affects us.
Yeah.
And I feel like I love having kind of gone through that initiation, that sort of mental and kind of faith initiation before all of this moves into Pisces, because I think, good Lord, we would have been so believing every, snake oil, whatever.
Blind faith, baby. Blind
Yeah.
faith.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you, sister, so much. This has been wonderful as usual. So I look forward to Gemini season is when we'll be back. I guess we're going to be meeting in the mutable seasons, so we can help you usher in the new season that is upon us. And I encourage everyone. It's something else that I've been talking about quite a bit. Don't skimp on your readings. Even those of us who know a lot about astrology and who do our own readings using other divination systems have to ask somebody else to read for us, because sometimes these eclipses, man, you need somebody else. Or when it's Pisces is a blind spot. You cannot see everything. You need somebody else to look for you, because Pisces is going to make you miss seeing something. Okay. So I do encourage everyone to get a reading. What is your website, Jessica?
It's starflowerservices.com. You can find out information about readings there. I do lots of different readings. And I'll just say, listen, I've been farming for 20 years. I don't make a plan for the week without checking the weather report. Like, I want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not going to assume who's going to rain and what's going to happen, because I'm not a meteorologist.
Yeah.
So it's helpful to have, if you are drawn to astrology or divination, but you could use, it's good to have somebody else help you look at that, who's been kind of practicing and being attentive to it. So I would love to help. I love to help folks.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And my website is goddessbodymindspirit.com. So like Jessica said, I would love to help. I would love to do a reading for anyone who wants one. So check out our websites and get a reading, get a reading, get a reading. I'm telling you, sometimes when people come to me, I'm like, oh, I see why you came. They don't know anything about astrology, but they know what they feel like. And I'm like, oh, I see why you came.
It's
so
wild.
Let me tell you
it's
what's
beautiful.
here. And let me tell you, this is your path forward. This is your mission for right. So why you want to get readings. And aren't people ready for change? Are you tired of the same old, same old? Well, guess what? That's gone. You don't have that option anymore. So would you like to craft a path forward with a roadmap in your hand, where you can consciously make choices and not just be leaving it up to chance, and then use the readings that you're doing in between for yourself to help support your day to day. But it's important to get your chart looked at. Even if you don't know your birth time, get your chart looked at. But yeah, we'll be back. Hope that y'all have enjoyed this. Thank you again, Sister. I appreciate you for coming on.
Thank you. And thank you to all our fairies, angels, ancestors, unseen forces,
ascended masters, baby.
Rolling with us always.
Always.
Guiding the vehicle. All right.
Yes. All right, you. Everybody. I love you too, sis. We love you all. We'll see you all later. Thank you. Peace.